I bambini sono importanti perché sono privilegiati nella comprensione del regno dei cieli. La loro condizione antropologica è speciale e diversa li rende i perfetti recettori del messaggio di Gesù. I bambini sono più adatti dagli adulti a capire e a vivere il Vangelo. E proprio, finisce qui il saluto che ci faceva Luigino, e diceva, è proprio nella stessa scia di Chiara Lubick che sempre ha sottolineato come i piccoli avevano capito il suo ideale. Oggi, attraverso il Pathway Focus Verde, noi continuiamo a proporre ai bambini e ai ragazzi giovani ideali grandi, orizzonti sconfinati, e in questa prospettiva è che oggi vogliamo farvi conoscere e altri riproponere il progetto Bambini Cittadini e Master Peace Ecologici. Davvero che grazie a tutti per essere qui.
Io sono Mabel, mi piace tanto guardare i fiori, le piante, la natura. Con altre amiche abbiamo dipinto, pulito e piantato dei fiori per prenderci cura del mondo. E poi ho prestato ad una delle mie compagne, il nome Anita, una delle mie magliette più belle, perché non ne aveva una.
Quando ho compiuto 7 anni, invece di ricevere giocattoli, ho chiesto di avere come regalo latte per donare ai bambini che non hanno niente da mangiare.
Nella mia classe c'era una bambina che si comportava male con tutti. Tutti la sgridavamo e la lasciavamo in disparte. Un giorno mi sono detta, e se ero io al suo posto? Subito ho preso la mia cartella e sono andata da lei e mi sono messa a chiacchierare. In poco tempo siamo diventate amiche. Visto il mio atteggiamento, altre compagne si sono avvicinate a lei. Grande era la mia gioia di aver riunito la classe.
Vi chiediamo un attimino di spegnere tutti i microfoni. Grazie mille. Invitiamo allora Carina, Rosa a dialogare con noi.
Ecco, grazie Cecilia, grazie a tutti, è sempre molto bello incontrarci. Per questo che ci sta a tutti a cuore, no? I bambini e la città. Ecco, noi oggi parliamo dei bambini cittadini, ma in funzione di questo focus particolare del Pathway Verde, no? Dell'ecologia integrale. Voglio condividere con voi una presentazione. Ecco. Allora, come vi dicevo, l'intenzione oggi è di presentare bambini cittadini, ma soprattutto mettendo in luce tutte le esperienze alcune delle esperienze che già sono arrivate e che fanno vedere come i bambini sono costruttori della città, ma ancora di più, cioè sono costruttori del villaggio globale per l'educazione che Papa Francesco ha chiesto di costruire in funzione del patto educativo globale. Allora, un proverbio africano, come già è ben noto, e sempre lo diciamo, dice che per educare un bambino serve un intero villaggio. Ma dobbiamo costruirlo questo villaggio come condizione per educare, dice Papa Francesco, nella convocazione a ricostruire il patto educativo globale. E lui stesso si chiede, ma come fertilizzare, come bonificare il terreno del villaggio per far crescere delle buone esperienze? Innanzitutto cercando di promuovere il protagonismo dei bambini. Un protagonismo che non significa mettere i bambini al centro in modo narcisistico, ma piuttosto dando loro la possibilità di esprimersi e di mettersi al servizio degli altri.
The service of others in the context of the city. The children who are themselves curious and active seekers of every corner of the city where they can help, serve, and console, share, and care. The children will develop their skills and contribute to the development of the city, seeking to transform it by involving as many players as possible in the community. But the children who are also builders of the educational pact love nature, and they care for the environment in harmony with creation. They are friends of the elderly, and they try to make the most of what is usually considered waste. They know their mayor, politicians, institutions, and they make their own proposals promoting actions of peace and citizenship that adults will help to carry out together with several institutions. With a message for the launching of the Global Education Pact on September 12, 2019, Pope Francis calls for the building of a broad educational alliance and invites all actors in society to unite in building a global education village. But he said that the proposal that was launched calls for the creation of an educational pact that is able to enhance and integrate the different pedagogical perspectives and educational actions by building networks of cooperation in support of all. Such an undertaking will not be possible without the activation on the part of all of a threefold courage: the courage to put the person at the center, the courage to invest the best energies with creativity and responsibility, the courage to train people, form people who are willing to put themselves at the service of the community. 5 thematic areas have been identified for in-depth study and social educational development. They are dignity and human rights, fraternity and cooperation, peace and citizenship, technology and integral ecology, cultures and religions entrusted to higher education institutions. Then there are always, in the context of the Global Education Pact, 7 objectives were then outlined for all formal and non-formal education organizations. They are to put the person at the center, to listen to the younger generations, to promote women, to empower the families, the participation of the families, to open up to welcome, to renew the economy and politics, and to safeguard the common home.
Io vi invito anche per approfondire
Response. To deepen also these proposals, I would like to invite you to download also this vademecum on Global Education Pact. They are available in different languages. So we have, in response to this, we have received numerous experiences of education in formal context, like in schools and university, or non-formal context like courses organized by associations or other institutions, and even informal activities of an animated or practical nature involving learning in daily life relating to the 5 thematic areas. And this happens all over the world. Today, we would like to deepen one of these themes, which is that one of integral ecology. We have received these experiences of Gen 4, children who are citizens, active citizens. So let's go around the world now. The first experience comes from Korea. The Gen 4 have set themselves the goal of becoming the first custodians of our planet in the environment in which we live by making small ecological gestures, for example, at home, at school, and others. For them, ecology is not an abstract concept. It is a way of life, a series of daily behaviors such as sorting waste, not leaving lights on, not wasting food and water, and many others. We know how important parents can be as role models for children's development. So they propose to parents to be the first to do these things, to set a good ecological example to their children. The first video is of a Gen 4 who goes to school every day by car. But to prevent pollution of the earth, she has decided to walk once a week with her grandfather, who accompanies her. In the second video, a Gen 4 who goes to kindergarten eats the whole meal without leaving any leftovers, and he creates toys using recycled wastes. I'll let you watch this video. I go to school by walking. I took this photo. Normally, it's my father or my grandfather who brings us to school by car. Guess what I did to save the earth. My school is in the bush. So I decided to go there by walking to save the earth. I'm really curious to know your story. Even your little actions does not matter. These children are really wonderful. Another video, always from Korea. I created this robot. My name is Lihan, and I go to the nursery school. Do you also know that our planet is very sick? I thought of it, not to leave leftover food, but I try to eat everything. Don't you think that's wonderful? And in order to play, I made my own toys from cartons, bottles of yogurt, and plastic. This robot toy, I made it. And the mother asked, what did you do? What did you use? Well, I used cartons, yogurt bottles, plastic. Very good. You did well. Would you also like to try? I am very curious to know your own story. Very beautiful. They really change our points. Let us see some points from this experience. principles that come to the fore from these experiences.
Principi anche collegati appunto al pathway e al passo educativo. Intanto si vede in questa esperienza un grande
Listening to children,
dei bambini per metterli
young people,
al centro dell'azione educativa. Perché? Perché sono esperienze fatte da loro,
listening to children, young people, and youth to put them at the center of the
e anche
educational
partono
action,
dalla loro iniziativa.
because it starts from their own
Vede che
steps. It
c'è questa
starts with
questo
them.
educatore è stato capace di costruire
The
un
educator
ambiente
also was
educativo
able to build
participativo,
a
non solo
participatory
delle
educational environment
e che coinvolge
that involves
mente,
mind,
mano e cuore,
hands,
no?
and heart,
Perché è un'attività pratica
because it is a practical activity
tanto con,
done with
per esempio,
the
questa
head,
vicinanza con il nonno, con i
but
genitori,
also much of the heart, because the nearness to grandfathers and
d'altro punto,
parents. Another point is that
collegato appunto agli obiettivi del patto
linked to that
educativo,
objective
che
of the Global Education Pact,
vede
this
la
experience
famiglia come
sees the family as the first
educatore, no?
and indispensable educator.
Il processo educativo. Se vede l'accompagnamento della famiglia,
The accompaniment of the family, of the grandfather,
è paradigmatica
and also
dell'educazione
that
al
is
rispetto
sees the family,
comune e a stile di vita più
the
sobrio
education to respect and care for the common home
Adesso
and more simple lifestyle.
a un'altra parte, a un altro
Now let's go to another part of the world,
il Brasile.
experience from Brazil.
Allora vi presentiamo una esperienza
We will present to you an
che
experience.
si chiama Brasile senza crepe. Allora, da 2 anni
Brazil without
qua
crops.
fanno un'attività di
For about 2 years now, the Gen 4 have been collecting boxes of milk and juice,
motivati dalla
motivated by the mother of a Gen 4 who participates in an NGO that has a project, Brazil Without Cracks. The milk cans are used to cover the walls of the houses that have cracks in order to provide thermal insulation against climate change. You see how children make big things? They are also used to make thermal blankets for the homeless. Gen 4 collect the boxes in their homes and also ask relatives, friends, and neighbors. Then they wash and cut the boxes to send to the NGO. At the same time, they learned that in a nearby town, a young woman who was born with paralysis in her brain needed surgery in order to receive a prosthesis. In order to carry out the surgery, a competition was launched to collect 52 tons of used plastic lids from food bottles, cleaning products, and so on. So the Gen 4, encouraged by the Children's Citizens Path, got involved. Let us see this video. It's in Portuguese, but then it is the same thing as I have already mentioned.
Criança cidadã. Há cerca de 2 anos, começamos com o Gen 4 da Mariápolis de Neta uma atividade de coleta de caixas de leite e suco vazias, que são depois encaminhadas ao projeto Brasil Sem Frestas.
Com as caixas de leite, se forram as paredes que possuem frestas, impedindo a entrada do frio ou do calor e a entrada de insetos. São usadas também para fazer esteiras para moradores de rua.
Na Gen 4, recolhemos as caixas em nossas próprias casas e também com familiares, vizinhos e amigos. Lavamos e recortamos as caixas, depois levamos para essa ONG.
Soubemos também que numa cidade próxima daqui, uma jovem que nasceu com paralisia cerebral precisava fazer uma cirurgia nos quadris.
Para pagar a cirurgia, foi feita uma campanha para recolher 52 toneladas de tampinhas plásticas. usados em sucos, leite, água, produtos de limpeza, etc.
Então, nos empenhamos bastante, vivendo assim pelo projeto Criança Cidadã, junto com todos os G4 do mundo inteiro. E conseguimos também envolver muitas outras pessoas nesse objetivo.
No final de 2020, essa ONG quis premiar aqueles G4 que se destacaram mais nessa atividade.
Recebemos medalhas e um certificado do Brasil Sem Frestas.
O Instituto Lixo Zero Brasil ficou sabendo dessa nossa atividade e quis homenagear os 2 G4 que se destacaram na atitude cidadã.
Este é conferido àqueles que fazem a diferença e inspiram outros na caminhada rumo ao lixo zero. Valorizam aqueles que dão o seu tempo e atenção ao outro e se preocupam com o futuro do planeta.
2 G4 receberam esse reconhecimento na cidade de Vargem Grande Paulista, no dia 26 de março de 2021. São eles Vitor Tamburu e Telzinho.
Bellissimo. Anche veramente hanno ricevuto un premio, un riconoscimento, questi bambini fieri, no?
These children have also received a prize. And there you can see that these children are at the center of this educational activity. What can we understand from this experience? The possibility of networking with other agencies in the area. Children collaborate with other NGOs.
Poi anche la possibilità
Also the possibility to make this experience to open up to include, to welcome others, to open up to the most vulnerable and marginalized. Also in this experience, you can see new ways of applying the economy at the service of the human family in the perspective of an integral ecology. Because these children are in contact with poverty. They ask themselves how to solve the problems, and they tried to look for concrete answers. Then investment of the best energies for an education at the service of the community. Not only to educate themselves to an integral ecology theoretically, but right away to put themselves at the service of the community. And it is an education to respect and care for the common home, to have a more simple and environmentally friendly lifestyles. Here's another experience from England. Max and Stacy. They chant for with the mama. Max and the homeless. They wanted to do something to help the homeless during the lockdown. So they got in touch with an NGO community, which is an organization that helps support low-income families. So they bought some necessary things and went to deliver them. When they returned home after delivering their first batch of food, Max told his mother that he would like to help more using his Christmas money that he had received and saved in his piggy bank. Word spread with his friends about what they had done, and they too wanted to help and did so by donating money. With these generous donations, they were able to buy nappies because they were always needed and other items that were also needed. They were also given a letterhead that they could take to a supermarket explaining their cause. They left again with this. They received a response from two large supermarkets nearby. These supermarkets both donated many nappies. It is very touching, this experience, how from one small act of love, it spread to so many to also do acts of love. So reading this experience, we can see, we can understand. They place the person at the center of every educational process to bring out their specificity, their ability to relate to others against the culture of discarding. We see a great creativity in Max. This generates a chain of love that also resolve a problem that was existing. Another point, educating ourselves to be welcoming, opening up to the most vulnerable and marginalized.
Della propria società, della propria comunità. Si vede anche in questa
Another point, listening to children. In this case, the mother who listened to Max and put him at the center of the educational action. And investing these best energies really helped the community. The last experience from Macedonia. No, we have to go. We wanted to invite you to have other experiences and send them to us so that we can form this global educational village. Thank you, Karina. Thank you. So to continue with our experiences, and this is what we would like to propose now, Master Peace Ecology. As we have seen, children, citizens already exist, and within the Pathway 2021-2022 campaign, which aims to take care of humanity and the planet, we believe that a leading role should be played by them. Because they are and will be the protagonists of the future. They will inhabit the world that we will give them, but that we can already build with them. So to support this process, we therefore propose a path that can be followed with children. We have this course we propose is called Master Peace Ecology. It was a small itinerary to discover some of the values that are at the basis of our more human, fraternal, and peaceful world. So it is precisely with a view to an alliance between the generations that we would like to move forward within the framework of the Global Education Pact promoted by Pope Francis and the 7 objectives we mentioned earlier, by making our own the vision of integral ecology of Laudato Si and the agreement signed by the various religious leaders meeting with Pope Francis on October 4. So we propose a first course to become a Master Peacemaker. It was a small itinerary to discover some of the values that are at the basis of a more human, fraternal, and peaceful world. We believe that a true future of peace can be built by giving the children the opportunity to participate in a real way as the real protagonists of change. Being in the middle of the lockdown period, some modules had been prepared which could be carried out by individual children accompanied mainly by their parents. Why Master Peace Ecology? This year, we would like to expand on some of the themes already covered in the first course, highlighting even more the interconnection between working for peace and all other ecological and social issues. How will this Master Peace Ecology be? This year, we propose as far as possible respecting all the provisions enforced in each country for the pandemic situation, to encourage cooperation between children, to encourage the exchange of ideas, to infect each other, working in groups within associations, schools, parishes, and even neighborhood friends. Each group must be accompanied by at least 2 reference adults who will accompany the group and who will then be able to present the initiative carried out. The group itself will choose the name it wants to give itself and will gradually work out how to organize itself. The adults accompanying the group will try to facilitate the whole process, presenting the various steps, the examples given, but will try as much as possible to stimulate and guide without influencing, helping the boys and girls to become aware and to play a positive role. Because they are the protagonists, the children as citizens in action. How will the path to the Master Peace Ecology unfold? Once the group has been set up and a name chosen, the first stage of the course can be introduced and begin. It is designed as a starting point to help observe the surrounding environment, to stimulate an initial awareness, and to encourage personal and group reflection. First step. A beautiful house but badly treated. Let's set off to discover it. Then 2 equally important paths were proposed, emphasizing different but complementary aspects of an integral ecological approach. Working for peace that takes care of all creation. So in pathway A, a planetary family to be rediscovered, loving everyone, loving the other as myself. Sharing is a gift for the other, but also for the planet. That is the focus on the person. Then the next focus is on the surrounding environment. Pathway B, discovering our talents. It is we who choose. Nothing small unless it is done out of love. Let us take care of everything around us. We propose to choose one of them, thinking that it is not possible to deepen both paths in a few months in order to achieve something concrete. But obviously, we leave freedom of action. In each path, there will be an introductory part where some ideas are given and some experiences of actions already carried out by boys and girls in different parts of the world. Then each group will be able to think of and propose an initiative to be realized. In addition to the experiential material already present in the course, we will attach other materials that can be freely used as further stimuli. As we are also addressing groups from all continents, we think it might be useful for the adult leaders to introduce other materials from each culture, like stories, fables, sayings, that will allow us to go deeper into each issue according to the different contexts. The final stage will be common to all and will contain two proposals that we believe are important for supporting and encouraging the protagonism of our boys and girls in line with the Global Education Pact, which under point 2 of the proposal stresses listen to the new generations. The final stage will therefore be an opportunity to reflect together with the boys and girls on the activities carried out and to give them the chance both to share what they have discovered with their peers all over the world and to propose their ideas to the adult world, which we hope we will listen to them too. So let us make ourselves be heard. To live happily on earth, we should. So, what did you discover at the end of the project? What is the most beautiful idea that you have realized and that you would like everyone to know about? What do you think is the most important thing that you have discovered and that you would like everyone on earth to know? Write down your message, try to find a way to let it be known to the mayor, to the school director, to the politicians, to the president of the republic, of the nation, to the king or even queen. How will this masterpiece ecology conclude? The proposal we will make to the groups will be send us to gen4@focolare.org the story, a video, photos of everything you did. Send it to us by 20th of May 2022 together with the registration form. So we look forward to seeing you at Global Meeting Kids Gen 4 in June 2022. All information can be found on the website. All groups that send material together with the registration form will receive a certificate of participation. If some initiatives arrive by 15-20 of April 2022, they can be presented during the United World Week of 2022. An international jury will then choose the 3 proposals that are judged to have the greatest impact and usefulness. This will be illustrated by cartoonists. The parents of the children in these groups will be asked to sign a release form in order to be able to use the images and names of the children. And then they will be presented at a global online event in June, Meeting Global Kids Gen 4. It will be an online event. These experiences will then be published in the Italian Big magazine and on the Gen 4 website. Further and updated information can be found on the website of the Gen 4. Always on the website of the Gen 4, you will find the path and all the materials. They are available on the same site from the end of November 2021. Master Peace Ecology will end, but a commitment to continue working together for a better world will not stop. Thank you.